And then who walks through the goddamn back door, chat? Joker. Hello, Harley. He's like, oh, Puddin', Joker, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, nothing. I'm just here to acquire a warhead. Come on, boys. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content in my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games. I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video. But now, my friends, we got to get to tonight's review of Harley Quinn. I told you guys, you got to check out this goddamn series, chat. It's currently on HBO Max. It's a wonderful adaptation of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, chat. I'm finally back to reviewing this series because it's so goddamn good, so wonderfully well-written, chat. But now we must start with episode 3, chat. My scene by scene by scene by scene breakdown, chat. So you need a crew. You need a goddamn crew, Harley, okay? She's at this point, chat, she is separated from Joker. She's on her own. She's living with her best friend, Poison Ivy, chat, but she wants to make her own goddamn bones in the world. She wants to go out there and live the life that she wants to live, okay? She wants to be a supervillain. That's what she desperately has wanted for his entire life, and she doesn't need the fuck. She doesn't need no goddamn man. She doesn't need no goddamn man to tell her what to do, chat. And so she has staged a robbery all by herself in the middle of fucking Russia, chat. She beat the shit out of Putin. She killed Putin, chat. And she's like, I got to go after this train because I got to acquire this Soviet-era warhead, chat. And she goes on this fucking train, and she's beating up all these Russian Soviet goons, chat, but they're being led by KG Beast, which is everyone's favorite villain. I will never understand why KG Beast is as popular as he is, why the fact that he was in Batman v Superman, I'm like, who fucking cares? His name is KG Beast, because I guess he works for the KGB, get it, KGB, it's like stupid. His name's a fucking pun, get rid of him, I don't like him, chat. And she beats the shit out of him, chat. And she takes him out because he's KG Beast, and no one cares about KG Beast. He's usually used as a fucking punching bag or a joke, and she's got to get this warhead. The problem is, you need to have 2 people on either side of this lock to put these keys in at the same time to get at the warhead. She's like, fuck, I can't do this. And so she's trying to stretch her arms out, chat. She takes her goddamn, shoes off, trying to use, thankfully she's a master gymnast, chat. She participated in the Olympics, got the fucking silver medal, chat, even though her goddamn stepdad said, well, you never got gold though, honey. He's like, fuck you, dad. Fuck you, stepdad. You're not my real dad, okay? I got fucking silver in, in the 2008 Olympics. Give me some goddamn credit. And she does good work of it, chat. She killed many a man, many individual using those gymnastics that she won that silver medal with. And so she's stretching out her legs, trying to articulate her toes to get it. And she manages to get it. She had both sides, but there's a third one at the top. She's like, fuck, I can't get that one too. And then who walks through the goddamn back door, chat? Joker. Hello, Harley. He's like, oh, Puddin', Joker, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, nothing. I'm just here to acquire a warhead. Come on, boys. And the fucking Joker's goons go, walk in the thing, and they get the fucking keys, and they open them, and they take the fucking warhead. And she says, that's not fair. You just have these you don't even have any goddamn powers. You didn't take care of any of this yourself. I fucking beat whatever that guy's name was, KG Beast, and I beat up all these other Soviet-era goons. And the thing is, the people you have, these henchmen, they just do whatever you tell them to do. They do whatever you say. And he's like, that's not true. He says, goons, go ahead and throw Harley off the train. Whatever you say, boss. He goes, what? And they fucking throw her off the train, chat, like Bucky from Winter Soldier. He goes, and she's like, and she's just thrown to like an icy river, chat. And then we cut to Poison Ivy's apartment, chat. I like that Poison Ivy, like, she's really improved herself as a person because of her therapy with, like, Harley Quinn when she worked in Arkham City. So she has her apartment, chat. She's still doing her Poison Ivy, like, I'm not really a villain. I'm an eco-terrorist, but you kill people, Poison Ivy's like, I know I kill people, but they deserve it. And they kind of do. They're pretty fucking scumbags, shit. They're hurting other people, too. But I love that she has her apartment. She's a fucking avid coffee drinker and things. She's always like, I'm gonna try this new coffee recipe today. It's like, it's just, man, I'm smitten with Poison Ivy in this series, Shan. She's making herself some coffee. She has some cookies. She's got some nice organic chocolate chip cookies that she made for herself. And Harley Quinn just fucking goes in there. Chat looks like shit. She's covered in Soviet era feces, chat, and piss. She's like, Jesus Christ, I need a crew. She's like, Poison Ivy's like, no, honey, you need a shower. I can smell you from over here. I smelled you when you fucking got off the elevator before you entered my apartment. And then it cuts. You know, this is after Harley Quinn. She's taking a shower, chat. She's like, Jesus Christ, I'm trying to fucking do this on my own, Poison Ivy, but it's just so goddamn hard. And she's like, listen, Harls. I love that she has like a nickname for her, calls her Harls. It's like, you don't need a crew. You don't need it. Look, listen, I've been able to do this by myself. You know, all these fucking plants come out of the background, chat. Pours her another cup of coffee, once holding her plate of cookies. And you have fucking Frank the Plant, chat, voiced by JB Smooth. He's like, oh, yeah, girl. Yeah, you're very independent. She's like, shut the fuck up, Frank, because he knows that she's full of shit. Wonderful, chat. Wonderful. Thank you. Got a new follower here, chat. Soggy Nuts. Soggy Nuts. 31. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing very well. You're my new Huckleberry. Hope you're doing very well today. But you know, she's like, oh, shut the fuck up, Frank. And Harley's and Poison Ivy. Harley's just sad. It's like, I really need something. It's just hard to do this alone. But he's like, no, look on the TV. They're watching TV, chat, and there's this battle between Dr. Psycho and Wonder Woman. Poison Ivy goes, no, look at here. Look at Dr. Psycho. Look at this guy right here. You know, he's fucking fighting Wonder Woman on his own. Doesn't have the help of any crew. Just doing it by himself. That's a guy to admire. Thank you, which is a little change. Soggy Nuts. Thank you so much for subscribing, using your Prime subscription on my channel. Cheers and salute to you, Soggy Nuts. You're a real guy. You're a real mensch. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. But, you know, we cut to Dr. Psycho and Wonder Woman, and they're engaged in a fucking battle, and he's using his psychic, telekinetic ability shit to throw fucking cars at her and shit and everything. And, you know, Wonder Woman's like, oh, why don't you use your fist instead of using your mind, Psycho? He's like, oh, yes, my fist. I'll do just that. And he fucking uses, like, forms these telekinetic fist shot to, like, grab onto Wonder Woman's head. And he starts, like, squeezing her. And Woman's like, It's like, oh, no, what looks like you. This is be your end. You'll meet your doom. Just laughing and shit. And she uses her fucking bracelets, chat, to end his telekinetic, like, assault on her mind. Goes, bah! And it flings, it yeets. It yeets little Dr. Psycho. He's like 3'5". And he yeets him, chat, and he hits a goddamn lamppost. He goes, bah! And he's like, that really? And he fucking gets up and he goes, that really hurt, you cunt! And everyone's like, oh. And like the whole world, like Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn are like, ooh. And like this dog who is like, oh, everyone is like, who's watching goes, ooh. And this dog's in the middle of a piss goes, that's not good. Even the pigeons go, and they fucking follow the growth, and the earth itself stops turning for like a second before continuing on. And it cuts to Dr. Psycho, and it's like, ooh, that's probably not going to do well for me. I love that in this world, superheroes and supervillains, it's like a legitimate profession, and like they have their own organizations, and some of them are legitimate. It's like very weird. And then it cuts to it's this perception. Like, perception is everything. It's like you can be a supervillain. You can kill tons of people, but if you use the C word, that's not good. It cuts back to Harley Quinn. So see, he needs a crew, Ivy, because they would have told him not to use the C word. The B word would have been more preferable. I mean, it's not nice to say that to a lady, but it would have been better. And Ivy's like, listen, I mean, what do you want to do? What do you want to do, Harley? What's the thing that you desperately want? He's like, well, if I got that if I got that bomb, I would have, just held the city for a hostage. She goes, okay, that's good. It's a good step. Okay. And she says, then I would have like forced them to name a highway after me. I was like, okay. She's like, it's a work in progress. He's like, okay, listen. Well, what do you want to do? What do you know? She's like, I need to get a crew. So Harley Quinn, she goes to Underworld, like literally, chat, Underworld Consulting to get like fucking henchmen. That's what she desperately needs. So she's waiting there in this fucking office, chat, as these two goddamn jabronis walk out. And they're talking to Dr. Psycho. And they say, oh, Dr. Psycho, don't worry, man. We're going to fix this whole C word thing. It's not going to be a big deal. We're going to get you on Tammy Today, which is this local Gotham show, chat, where they interview all these superheroes and supervillains just for the hell of it. We're going to get you on there. You're going to get your wife, Giganta, your son. It's all going to be the massive PR campaign. Listen, okay, we were there. We helped Victor freeze out. We did the whole wife thing for him. So like when he exposed himself at that child's water park, when he exposed himself, we got him talking about his wife more, and then people started feeling sorry for him, man. So it's all about perception. Be all about perception. They're gonna forget about that C-word incident. No problem. He's like, well, thanks, guys. See you later. And then they go meet Harley. Like, oh, Miss Quinzel, happy to. Is it Quinn? Is it Harley Quinn? Should we call you Miss Quinzel? She said, you just call me Harley. She's like, okay, Harley, Harles. Is that what she said? Well, my friends call me Harley. She's like, okay, we're not that close. I understand, honey. I understand. Harley, come this way. And they take her there, Chad, and they start talking about like all these different like henchmen. Oh, we got some good ones for you, Harley. We got this one guy. His name's Brick. Very strong. All about the physicality. Works it every single day. He's got full protein meals, but don't let that bother you. He can fucking beat up any kind of hero you throw at him. Okay, and he B-level hero. If Superman's a little hard for him, but he does really good job. Also have the Professor, very, very smart. Comes with all sorts of design, scientific weaponry, can perform any heist for you. World domination's his forte, okay? Also have explosive, because he uses bombs. Great for heists, great for robberies, great for terrorist actions. Like, he's the guy you go to when you want to blow up a motherfucker. And Harley's like, I'm going to fucking take them all. It's like, oh, Joker just won't stand a chance. They go, oh, I'm sorry. You said you're going up against Joker? She goes, oh, yeah, him and I broke up a while ago. He goes, oh, you're no longer with him. Oh, all these men are unavailable. And they close the whole presentation. She's like, wait, what are we talking about? She's like, we're just, they're not available. She's like, when are they going to be available? And they're like, forever. Yeah, forever. She's like, oh, fuck you guys. You're not going to let me have access to all these henchmen just because I'm no longer with the Joker? And they go, yeah. And she goes, well, fuck you. I'll go out and get my own henchmen. And so she fucking, okay, well, you let us know if you need anything else. They fucking close the door, slams the door in their faces. Eventually, she goes to like a seedy bar, Chad. She goes, she just bursts in there, Chad, with her fucking, goddamn baseball. But she goes, okay, listen up, you shits. Who wants to join my gang right here? Harley Quinn's fucking gang. And all these guys are like, who are you again? And she's like, I'm Harley Quinn. And they're like, oh, listen, not interested. And she's like, oh. And she sits down at a bar. And then we see fucking Dr. Psycho at the bar, too. He's like, oh, look at here. Another fucking woman. Wonderful. And she's like, I think you have a problem with women. He's like, I don't have a problem with women. Just yelling at her. And you have the barkeep chat. Have the bartender, and he's just doing this whole, like good old boy routine, like, I grew up in Texas, and I left the ranch with my 4 brothers and 5 sisters, and Daddy said, don't go to big city and start mixing drinks for all them evil doers. It won't be no good, won't be go good. And Harley Quinn's like, what the fuck is with you? And he goes, yes, and he transforms into, it's Clayface shit. He's like, yes, I put on a performance. And it's so funny. Alan Tudyk, who voices the Joker in the series, also voices Clayface in this. I love that Clayface is like this aspiring actor, which is like from the comics, like the actor, like before he was, Flint, Clayface, and he was Flint Marko, whatever name he had. He was an actor that was exposed to like a deadly substance that transformed into this like clay monster. But he's already a clay monster, and he wants to be an actor. He's just really fucking bad at it. He goes, yes, I fooled you. He's like, you didn't fucking fool us. We knew you were just a piece of shit. And at this point, he's like, Clayface is like, oh, no, I wasn't a piece of shit. And he transforms himself into Dr. Psycho. He's like, now I'm a piece of shit. Dr. Psycho's like, fuck you, poo monster. And he fucking starts fighting him and shit. And Harley Quinn's just like, well, I need someone to just someone must be interested. He's like, guys, seriously, like, I want to pull some heists. I want to rob some banks. Who wants to join me? And she like points at like several guys and things. He's like, you want to help me? He goes, sorry, I got a kid in the way. I can't do it. It's like, you? And he's like, no, I have a dentist appointment tomorrow. And this other guy's like, I gotta go. And he fucking runs. And we see in the corner of the bar, we see this one, I forget the villain's name, but he's like, he's this one villain, this magician villain, who constantly sacrifices his henchmen to like a death portal to give himself more power. And the guy rather sacrifice himself to a fucking death portal than deal with Harley Quinn and be a part of our organization. Just fucking throws himself in there. It's like, as he's fucking torn apart inside the death portal, chat. Fucking hilarious. And she's just like, well, Jesus Christ. I mean, who these guys will work for? And then fucking Kite Man, fucking MVP Kite Man goes, oh yeah, hell yeah, just shows up and he goes, hey everybody, I'm gonna like do like, I don't know, like a heist or robbery or something. Maybe this weekend, weather depending. If it's maybe you have a stiff breeze, it'll be great. But if it's rainy, it might be hard. But you just let me know. I'm gonna go meet up with some people right now, and they're like, oh fuck yeah, Kite Man. They all fucking chase after Kite Man, wanting to join him. She's like, fuck me. And she's just very sad. She's like, oh, god damn. And then, Clayface and Dr. Psycho are done fighting at that point. And, she's like, oh, fuck you too, losing. She leaves. She leaves the bar. She goes back to Ivy. And, Harley's just telling Ivy all these things. It's like, no one wanted to even join me in any of my schemes or heists or robberies or nothing, Ivy. They all went with Kite Man of all the things. And Ivy's like, oh, Kite Man was there? Did he ask about me or anything? I love that Ivy just has such a total crush on Kite Man and just starts like emphasizing her bosom and everything. She's like, well, did he say anything about me or anything? And Harley's like, what are you talking about? He said, I'm just want to know if he was talking about me or something. That's all. I met him at the party last episode, as you remember, and was just curious. And she goes, no. He's like, oh, okay. I love how disappointed she is. And at this point, she's like, listen, Harl, just sit down. And I had to tell you something. I don't think you're aware of it. And she's like, what do you got to tell me? She's like, listen, there is a glass ceiling for female supervillains, or I don't really consider myself a supervillain. It doesn't fucking matter. For people that do bad things, which, quote unquote, I don't do bad things. I help the environment. And she fucking Harley's like, you melt people with acid. She's like, I know I did that, but it was for a good cause. Anyway, there's a glass ceiling with us, okay? Yes, the male supervillains, they'll tolerate us for a while, but we can't get too powerful, okay? Or they'll just put us down. They just brush us aside, okay? That's why you don't see any fucking female super villains on the Legion of Doom. You got Cheetah, and the only reason they have her on there is because your fucking boobs are always sticking out. And they're like, that's a fair point. And Harley's like, well, I don't know what to do, Ivy. What am I supposed to do here? And they see a commercial for Maxie Zeus, supervillain consultant. She's like, that. And Ivy's like, no, I don't want to do this. He's like, yes, we're going. And they go to Maxie Zeus show, who does these fucking giant Superdome presentations on how to be a great supervillain. And it's like, I'm Maxie Zeus, known for many great things, even though he's like a D-list Batman villain and things. And he's like, I, of course, was known for robbing the 1998 Olympics, stealing all their gold medals, and now I literally sleep on a bed of gold. And at this point, Harley's like, wow, this guy's amazing. And Ivy's like, yeah, I don't know if he's amazing. I think the amount of coke he fucking does is amazing to maintain that fucking ridiculous personality of his. And he's going off. Now he's acting like Macho Man Randy Savage. Now you're probably asking yourself, how can I be a great supervillain? Henchman. Henchman is the answer. The only reason why Joker and Riddler and Two-Face are as good as they are is that they need people to follow their orders to pull off their evil schemes, okay? And so this is what you need to do. In order to get henchmen, you must go to a henchman agency, a consulting agency, or local seedy bars. And Harley Quinn's like, oh, it's like, yes, the juggalo in the back. And she's like, I'm not a jug. Oh, okay. A question. I already did those two things and they didn't work. Actually, she was like, listen, even though these things may not work for you, you can't give up. In order to achieve success in villainy, you must go forward. She's like, whoa, he's right. Ivy's like, he doesn't fucking know what he's talking about. And he even says, this one line that kills me, because when he's talking about Joker and Two-Face and Riddler, he says, you know what all these guys have in common? And Ivy's like, a penis? He goes, no, rude green woman. They had henchmen. And so eventually, Harley Quinn, the show ends. She knocks on Maxie Zeus's door. She goes, hi, Mr. Zeus. I just wanted to stop. I want to ask you a question. Your consultant said it would be okay. He's like, oh, no, please come in. And so, oh, thank you. She sits down, and he's like, what can I help you with, female juggalo? She's like, well, I listened to your speech, and I just had these questions for you. He says, oh, no problem. No, I can give you all the answers. And shit, he's wearing a fucking toga, and his fucking dick and balls are just hanging right out. And she goes, okay, all right, creepy and weird. Well, if you don't mind. He's like, listen, Harley Quinn, is it? Yes. Are you with the Joker? She goes, no, I'm not with the Joker anymore. He goes, perfect. Listen, I can treat you with so much respect. Okay, I'm a nice guy. I love the ladies. I love the female supervillain thing. It's adorable. It's adorable. But if you join me, and I can give you a few private lessons inches even closer to her, and she goes, okay, listen, I ain't fucking dealing with this, okay? I see what this is fucking turning into. He goes, what, you don't fucking like what you see, bitch? She goes, no. And the thing is, when I said fucking weird and creepy, is because you should see a fucking doctor, because that fucking, your balls and your penis should not look that way. He goes, what? And he's like, listen, I don't need fucking freaks like you, okay? You fucking, just because I'm a woman, doesn't mean you can fucking talk to me that way. And she just fucking leaves shit. She's fucking pissed off at this point. She's like, I need a fucking drink. And so she goes back to the bar. She goes back to the bar at this point. No, she goes to Ivy. She says, you know what I need? I need fucking fellow women. That's what I fucking need. She goes to Ivy. And Ivy's like, yeah, listen, honey, I don't want to team up with you. She goes, what do you mean? You're great. You know, I have my gymnastics bat and you have control of old plant life. You know, it's really, really cool. And Ivy's just like, listen, it's just, and this is where she gives the speech about the glass ceiling for like female supervillains. She says, there's only been a couple of us have always tried to do that, and they've gotten fucked up each and every single time, okay? Let me tell you about this girl named Queen of Fables. She came out there in the 80s, late 80s, and this is where we have Wanda Sykes voices this character who's able to summon these fairy tale creatures from all these books, and she laid waste to all these cities. And the Justice League came after her, chat, and they fucked her up. And Ivy says, and I'm not going to finish the story for you, Harley. Harley's like, why? Because you should see her yourself. She's like, she's still around? She goes, yes. And she's at this address right here. And she goes, okay. She takes it, and she goes there. And she's it's a tax collection agency. She's like, all right. Or tax consulting agency. Goes in. She's like, I'm looking for the Queen of Fables. She's like, yeah, she's right in the office down there. And she goes in there. She's like, there's no one there. But she hears this voice. Hey, what's up? How can I help you, lady? How can I help you, girl? And it's like Wanda Sykes who voices her, who fucking kills it as the Queen of Fables. She's like, hello? She's like, I'm down here, bitch. And she looks down. And apparently Queen of Fables is transformed into a tax book. Like tax law book. She goes, oh my God, what happened? She's like, let me fucking tell you, Juggalo girl. She's like, I'm not a juggalo. I get it. And she tells how when the Justice League came to attack her, and they did so many horrible things to her, Superman just ripped her ass open. Even Harley's like, oh, come on, that didn't happen. She's like, I'm paraphrasing, okay? I'm paraphrasing a little bit. But the thing is, they would lock up all these villains. They locked up Joker in fucking, Arkham Asylum. They would lock up Lex Luthor in these maximum security prison, yet they'd always break up, and they get all these great lawyers and shit. You know what they did to me? They trapped me in a fucking book. I didn't get sent to no goddamn prison. I'm in a fucking book. I have no powers anymore, and they did it because they fucking didn't want a lady doing this kind of shit. So I'm going to tell you what, Harley Quinn, you listen, you want to go for it, but just let you know, I'm serving as that goddamn example, okay? That's all I can fucking do. This is what my life is. And we see this fucking cookie, so some of her fairy tale creatures escaped, and we see this fucking gingerbread man say, hey, I completed those forms for you, Queen. She goes, thanks, honey, appreciate it. He's like, Queen, I really appreciate, God, she's like, oh, I appreciate the job, but I really fucking hate it too. But it is better than turning tricks in the corner like I used to do. He's like, I understand, Jim, I understand. He fucking walks away. The trick, this fucking cookie who's turning tricks on the corner, chat, just walks away. And eventually Harley Quinn, she goes back to Ivy, and like Ivy's just like, so how was? She goes, it was pretty fucked up. She's a little morbid, especially when she went on about how she's like, hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom. There, I did it, because she's a fucking book chat. She doesn't have any fucking internal organs anymore. And she says, Ivy, I appreciate what you did, but I really want to try this for myself. Okay, I want to actively, I just need, gets hench. I just need to leave, okay? I just need to get a drink and clear my head. She goes, okay, honey, you let me know if you need anything. And Harley Quinn, she goes back to the same seedy bar. That's the thing. At one point, they're watching a show. I forgot this. They're watching a show before she leaves, and Dr. Psycho is on there with the talk show host, Tammy. And he's with his wife and with his son. And at this point, Tammy's like, okay, Dr. Psycho, so I know you have your family on here. This is good PR and things, but you use that word to describe Wonder Woman. Do you have a problem with women? And Dr. Psycho's like, oh, I love the females. They're wonderful. I don't hate them. I mean, just ask my giant wife. Just like my giant wife, she would tell you. Actually, I would just go ahead and speak for her right now. She absolutely knows that I love women. And Tammy's like, we don't know if she said that. Let her speak. She's like, I am telling you what she said, okay? I'm a telepath, all right? Jesus fucking Christ. I know what her mind is all the time. And Giganta's like, they're like, Tammy, no, we want to hear about Giganta. Giganta girl, do you believe this? Does your husband, does he have respect for women? And Giganta's like, I want to fucking talk to Tammy. And he's like, hey, listen, just sit down, okay? I'll tell everything she needs to do. It's like, no, she was talking to me. Your fucking wife. A woman who makes her own goddamn choices, all right? And this woman is choosing to leave you. And she's like, you goddamn giant worthless cunt. And they're like, oh, and the whole thing, the dog stops pissing, the world freezes, the birds fall from the sky, and he goes, oh. It's not great, not great. And they all see this, and that's what inspires Harley, because she's like looking at this, and Ivy's like, wow, he just became the least employable supervillain in the world. And Harley's like, oh, that's what I need. I need the worst of the worst, the least employable henchman out there. I gotta go for just people who are fucking worthless. And Ivy's like, honey, I don't think that's what you need right now. And he's like, I'm gonna go do it. She goes, oh, okay. And she fucking leaves. She goes to the bar. She sees Dr. Psycho there. She sees Clayface there still fighting and things. And, Harley goes to ask them, well, you want to be involved like a heist with me? And Dr. Psycho's like, I don't want to be in any fucking heist with you right now. It's not because I have a problem with women. And Harley's like, I think you have a problem with me. He's like, no, I don't. No, I fucking don't. And then he's like, I'm fine. I'm in the Legion of Doom. I have no issues whatsoever. And then it cuts to fucking Giancarlo Esposito, chat, voicing Lex Luthor. And I love, even though they're fucking bunch of villains and scumbags, you're like, we do not condone the language used by Dr. Psycho. We are an organization that respects women, respects all genders and sexualities, and we are exiling him. We are firing him from our organization. He no longer is a part of the Legion of Doom. He's like, well, even though this is no reason, just because I was fired from the Legion of Doom, that doesn't mean I'm desperate or anything, but I will agree to work for your crew, Harley Quinn. And Cliff is like, huzzah, I will also work for your crew. What are we going to do? She's like, how do you guys feel about personal vendettas? And like, okay, good. Because she's going to fucking rob Maxie Zeus, chat. So they're outside their his giant mansion, and she's like, okay, so we're going to do. Clayface, you're going to go up there, you're going to distract him as a mailman. He's like, this mailman, what kind of character is he? What's his history? She's like, you're just a mailman, just deliver the mail to him. Okay, that's all I have to do. He's like, yeah, I understand this. But what's my motivation? You deliver mail. Just go. And like, while Dr. Psycho and I sneak in, and so fucking Clayface goes up to the door. And rings. And by the way, this is like in the dead of fucking night. And he fucking rings the doorbell. Max is just like, who the hell is here? Why do you disturb the presence of a literal god on this earth? And the mailman's like, I have your mail today, sir. And he's like, it's 9 at night. And he goes, sorry. I mean, we're running behind, and I was nervous, sir. And he goes, why were you nervous? And he goes, because I'm your son. And he goes, oh my God. And he goes, yes, remember that piano bar, that jazz piano bar you went to 25 years ago, and you had sex with that jazz pianist? That was my mother. And he's like, but I heard Brenda, she said that she would take care of it. And he goes, she tried to use that coat hanger, but it just didn't take. Oh, my son, my beautiful baby. Of course it didn't, because you, my son, are half God. Come in here, give Papa a hug. And they fucking hug and shit, and they go inside. Oh, who disturbs a god after 9 p.m.? And so then, meanwhile, Harley Quinn and Dr. Psycho, they're on the side of the house. And he's like, okay, who do you need me to manipulate with my mind? She goes, no, I just need you to sneak into this vent. He goes, are you fucking kidding me? And she goes, you're the smallest thing that can fit in. He goes, fucking God damn it. He fucking crawls in this because he's like a dwarf. He goes in there. It's like, oh, Jesus, I touched a dead raccoon. He goes, just fucking keep going. Eventually, he gets Harley Quinn in, and they're sneaking around while Clayface is distracting Maxie Zeus. And Maxie Zeus is like, it's weird. I'm happy to have you here, son. But honestly, you don't you don't really resemble your mother at all. I mean, I remember her. She had these beautiful, just those bright blue eyes. And Clayface literally changes his eyes in that second. He says, like, oh, there they are. Must have been the light. The one thing that is odd to me is that you didn't carry her genetic affliction. He goes, well, what was that, Father? Well, she was a hunchback. And he goes, ah. And eventually we cut back to Harley Quinn and Dr. Psycho, and they're in said Maxie's room. All of his statues are showing his weird fucked up penis and balls too, Chad. He's like, that's a little weird. That's a little disturbing. Yeah, it's horrific, actually. And they go into his bedroom. And like Harley Quinn says, he literally sleeps on a fucking bed of gold, and they flip the mattress over, and they see this container that has all the gold medals from the Olympics, and they take that shit. And as they go, they're going downstairs, they see what's happening between Clayface and Maxie Zeus, and fucking Clayface has turned himself into this fucking abomination. He has like a just massive hump. He has these giant buck teeth. He has this lisp. His eyes are going off in every direction at this point. And he goes, oh, yes, and you also have your mother's pale. He's like, I fucking love you, Daddy. I'm just so happy to be here. And he goes, yes, and to think that I would be fooled by something like this. He goes, what's wrong, Dad? He goes, are you fucking kidding me? You're fucking transforming in front of me right now. You're breaking the illusion. He goes, did you think I would fucking buy that? And he goes, yeah, and he fucking just hits him. He fucking backhands him, Chad, and starts beating the shit out of him. He's like, what the fuck are you, monster? Did fucking Joker send you after me? Is it Two-Face, Penguin, that fat fish-eating fuck? And just beats the shit out of him. And eventually, Clayface is just completely fucked up. And Harley Quinn, it was me who did it. He goes, oh, the Juggalo. He's like, I'm not a Juggalo. Fuck, I'm robbing you. He's like, oh, you're gonna fucking rob me? With what crew? She goes, this crew. He goes, really? This fucking giant mountain of shit and that little angry dwarf? And Dr. Seuss like, hey. He goes, yeah, with both of them. Because these guys are the worst of the worst. And by the time we're fucking done with you, you're going to be saying Harley Quinn's crew is nothing to fuck with. And Maxie's like, okay, bring it on, Juggalo. She's like, oh, you fucking asked for it. And they beat the shit out of Maxie Zeus, Chat. Clayface, Dr. Psycho, Harley Quinn, until she just fucking hits him right upside the fucking head, sends him fucking flying, Chat. And she's like, you better fucking tell him. We then immediately cut, Chat, to Poison Ivy's apartment where, Ivy's like, wow, Harles, congratulations and everything. She goes, oh, wait, the news report's coming on, Ivy. Watch. And we see that Tammy Lynn is right outside the mansion of supervillain Maxie Zeus, and she's like, he's been concussed for hours, but apparently he's coming too. And she goes up to Maxie Zeus. She goes, Maxie Zeus, who did this to you? And he's like, I only have one thing to say. And that is Harley Quinn's crew is nothing to fuck with. And Tammy Lynn's like, well, there you have it, folks. Harley Quinn's crew. Nothing to F with right here, all right? Looks like Joker's ex is making a name for herself in Gotham. And it cuts to Joker, who's just so fucking mad. He goes, God damn it! And he starts shooting the TV. And then it cuts back to Ivy and Harley. And Ivy's just like, Harl, seriously, that was amazing you're able to do with those two. That was great. She goes, yeah. And she's like, okay, what do you do with the gold medals? I mean, I know the gold medals aren't like a nuclear warhead or anything, but hey, that's a pretty good first heist. She goes, oh, no, I sold the gold medals for the warhead. You have a warhead? Wait, are you keeping it in my apartment? And she goes, oh, no. All I did was I just blackmailed the city and said I would use the warhead unless they named a highway after me. And Ivy's like, you actually did? He goes, oh, yeah, look. And then it cuts to like a chase scene outside, and it's like on the new Harley Quinn highway of Gotham City. It has all these fucking loop-de-loops and everything. They're going to put some statues of me there, too. It's going to be great. She goes, fucking get it, girl. And they fucking, they're drinking coffee, Chat, boom, and they like raise one to each other, and they fucking start drinking. And that, my friends, that is Harley Quinn episode 3. So you need a crew. Great goddamn episode, Chat. This series is fucking awesome. I highly recommend checking out if you've not done so, Chat. Kaylee Coco kills it as Harley Quinn. Lake Bell kills it as Poison Ivy, Chat. It's my favorite adaptation of both of their characters. And I love, because now we're going to get into the relationship between Kite Man and Ivy, and they're the cutest fucking thing, Chat. They're so adorable together. Cannot wait. It's going to be a great review. Thank you! More review of the show, more hate it. Oh, really? Oh, Edman. No. You gotta watch it. Seriously, check it out. It's really fucking funny. It's really good. It's a great send-up. It's a great homage to DC in general. Thank you, Alex Bernal. Thank you. No, I'm glad you guys liked it. Daryl LaCoy, welcome to stream. Who disturbs a god after 9 p.m.? Yeah, Giancarlo as Lex Luthor is great, Casey. It's super, super good. Yeah, Kite Man. Hell yeah. As soon as Kite Man becomes a recurring character, like a main character, so goddamn good. They're the cutest fucking couple in the show, Ivy and Kite Man. And I love that Ivy has to keep him secret because she's kind of embarrassed of him at first. But Kite Man stands up for himself, which is nice. I like it. Great series. Loved your review. Thank you, Casey. Thank you. But now, chat, now the Sonic shenanigans are about to continue. I got to take a second, chat. I got to take a second to get prepared. All right, explosions. And Bane. Bane is the MVP of the series. Bane is so goddamn funny. It's a great homage to DC and its rich array of villains. Agreed. Sonic shenanigans. Mm-hmm. Sonic shenanigans are about to occur, chat. Cheers and salute to you, by the way. Give me a second, chat, as I get ready. In the meantime, please entertain yourselves amongst yourselves. I shall return with Sonic.